Okay, so hello. I have randomly booked myself into a little hotel. Not for any other reason other than it kind of helps me have a fresh start. I don't want to be that person, but I don't know what is going on outside this room. But it feels like people are just walking up and down the corridor, talking lots, running around. It's like, how much fun can you have in the corridor? Just I don't know. Anyway, let's not moan. Although I probably am gonna moan during this. So it feels very, very weird and very risky to be making videos where I'm seemingly showing no kind of progress, but I do still believe that this is what will make these kinds of videos hopefully more relatable and helpful down the line. Because I think, like, with quitting anything or with quitting smoking or losing weight, gaining weight, whatever your challenge that you've set yourself, is that yes, we do see a lot of success stories, which is great, but like, I don't believe the things that necessarily fail or go a bit wrong at the beginning are destined to stay failed, if for want of a better phrase. So I'm only 5 days into this, but I kind of just wanted to go over what this week has been like. And it's been quite an emotional week. And yeah, I'm not sure how to order it, but it's been quite an emotional week. For reasons that I feel are best not to go into, but they do pertain to dating, kind of, or romance and love. And so, yeah, basically this week I've just been at work. But kind of going through something, processing something from my more personal life that's been quite a challenge. And I did find that the first 2 days, I just felt very sad. I just felt very sad. And then I think maybe by the third day, if I'm getting this all right, yeah, I think I am getting this all right. I think by the third day, I was so sad. I was like so sad. And I just let myself be sad, you know? Because it's not very often that like tears come to the surface and I just let them out, or it's like the appropriate time. It's like that doesn't always happen. It doesn't always happen like the right time, or you need to kind of squash it down for some reason. And ultimately I don't think you should ever squash it down. If you can let your tears flow, let them flow, because they probably need to. But I know we don't live in that kind of world. I know we don't live in that kind of world that loves it when people cry. So I know that we don't. Realistically, we just don't. So I kind of felt myself getting quite emotional. Funnily, I had said to myself, right, I'm going to take myself out for dinner. So I did. And I was like, I do feel sad. I do feel sad and lonely. I think there's a lot of content, which I love, by the way. There's a lot of content out there which is about the importance of not needing a romantic partner, because ultimately you don't, and we don't need to be codependent on somebody, and we don't need to be, you know, that doesn't need to be our, you can exist and you can survive and you can thrive being single at any stage in life. You just can. And I love the fact that there's content out there to support people in that situation and to kind of go, yeah, 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 and to cheerlead. Sometimes, though, sometimes I'm like, but I am a human being and I do kind of like want connection, like I guess everyone does. So I just let myself be sad, just let myself be sad. And I was very sad. I just let myself be sad. And then the next day, luckily, I had a counselling session, which was actually extremely helpful. It was extremely, extremely helpful and insightful. It was so, so useful. And then, and I don't know how, I genuinely do not know how, as in, I can't pinpoint when or why this happened. I pulled the dating apps back on my phone and I can't remember why or when. Now, I'm not talking to anybody on them and I'm. So. I just flicked that up myself. So, let's take a moment for one positive thing. I decided, and you would think I'm made of money, but I am absolutely fucking not. I decided, it was like before work, and I was like, okay, let me figure out how can I sort my life out. And I decided that I'm going to get a couple of sessions with what they called a life coach? I don't think it was a life coach, but it is a life coach. So I booked that and I decided that this is what it's going to be about. So I'm having my first session on Monday, and depending on how that goes, or just regardless, I'm really hoping it's going to be quite practical, almost like cognitive behavioral therapy. Because I think this guy said that he is trained in it. But yeah, I'm going to do that, and then next weekend update you on that, because I don't know, I feel like I need someone to hold my hand through this process, because this is difficult. And I think part of the reason it's difficult is because, unlike weaning yourself off of cigarettes, which is arguably addictive but just bad for you, dating apps feel slightly more confusing because yes, they can have like addictive features and aspects to them, and yes, they can be bad for you, but connecting to human beings is not necessarily a thing that is just bad for you. It's just that I think could be going about it in a different way. And I think that the problem is that at the moment, the dating apps and the inability to stop using the dating apps is getting in the way of the other ways of relating, I think. So anyway, that is my first week. And with all that said, I am now going to remove them from my phone again. I do not blame you if you listen to this and think, she is not very helpful. And why is she making a series? But what I more hope is that weeks and weeks and weeks, months and months down the line, I can actually compare. And hopefully you can compare. And if nothing else, talking to a camera makes me feel slightly less insane. Over and out.